Alright, my name is Junior, aka Dial A Cup Barbers, and if you don't know, get to know, boom. So today I'm at Offcuts down in Camberwell, and we're gonna go for a skin fade, and let me introduce Dominique Nevers. This is one of my old students, so we're gonna tune him up today and make him look nice. So, what we're gonna go for a skin fade. We're gonna keep it pretty medium. You don't like it too high, do you? You want to keep it pretty medium. So we're going to go for a skin fade, and we're going to do it pretty medium all the way around. So I'm going to show you guys my steps and how I do it. I like to keep it right by the temple, okay? And as you can see, Dominic said he hasn't got any occipital bone. I can just about feel one, but I would say it's around here. So anytime any client hasn't got an occipital bone, you tend to keep it low anyway. Right, so this clippers I'm using is an Andis Super ZR, and I'm using a 5-0 blade, and it cuts just above skin. So I'm putting my first guideline in. And again, as I said before, I keep it right by the temple area. Now with my line, I'm not going to drop the line, I'm going to keep it pretty straight all the way around. Dominic is already a barber. Barber to barber.
Yeah, you told me a year ago.
Yeah, it's been a year now. Yeah, it's been a year now. So how are you finding the barbering scene after a year in?
No, it's good. It's tough to start with, but you get the hang of it.
Getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
Is there any hairstyles you don't like?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like long hair.
You don't like long hair?
I don't like long hair.
You know my advice? Get rid of all the gremlins first. That's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah? So always take care of what you don't like, which is long hair.
True.
So as I said, I'll keep my line completely round. So what I done skin from this side to the center, and then from the center I came to the front and I met towards the back. I tend now to keep the neck brush in my hand to dust away any hair. Because I deal to get rid of all the hair clippings and keep your client comfortable within the chair. My Wall Seniors, my favorite go-to clippers. So if you look at the blade here, I have a fade blade on here. The reason why I like this fade blade, because it gets right in there with my fade. So, kept closed is a 0-0. When you open it, it then becomes a 0.5. So my first guideline, I'm going to do fingers depth with a 0.5. So close is 0-0, open is 0.5. Now I'm going to keep a fingers depth, okay? So this is my second guideline. Okay, and as I said before, guys, I'm just keeping it a finger's depth. I would say I know probably around, I probably know about 8 different ways of doing a skin fades. But you've got to select wisely per client. Yeah. So I'm working from 0.5 and I'm working my way back into 0 because I want to take out this very faint line you can see here. Yeah, skin fades are quite popular now. I think in this shop, they're not very popular in this particular shop, but other places where I go, skin fade every single haircut now. And I don't think skin fade is ever going to go out of fashion, to be honest. My original guideline was here, and as you can see, I've completely taken it out. Now I'm going to repeat the same steps on the other side. Now sometimes with these clippers, although it's on 0.5 and I want to go to skin, which is 0-0, I tend to close this probably about 1, 2, 3 before I completely go to 0. Because if I go from 0.5 to 0, I'll be starting all over again, basically. Okay, so now I'm on 0-0. I'm just taking out this bottom area here. And again, it's all visual. So sometimes I actually open and close it, okay? So just because I go 1, 2, 3, sometimes if I come to a high area like here, I'll have to open it back and just taper it out. So what I might have to do, what I normally do is go to a number 2 and start taking this out. But I'm gonna go to a 1.5. That's what I'm gonna do. Every hair, I have to trial and error with every haircut, because sometimes I might put a 2 on there, it might not take enough off, and a 1.5 might work better. So I'm just gonna test the waters, because sometimes it's ideal when you're cutting to test the waters. So that's what I'm doing now. So I've got this closed. I'm just testing the waters to see how much hair comes off. Right, so this is absolutely fine for me. So I'm glad that I chose 1 step higher, because I was actually gonna go with a number 1. So look, I'm quite happy with this now. And the reason why I'm happy with this, because I managed to keep it a little bit dark, just how I wanted it here. Now what I'm doing now, I'm repeating the steps, because every time I change my guard, I make sure I cut every single hair with this guard. So when I can't hear any more hair cutting, then I know this guard has done its job. This is the one that the whole world is after. I could sell this number 1 right now for about £40. Someone will bite my arm off. These are discontinued from wool. And then you've got the premium guards. So what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to do that transition over to the premium guards. So I'm starting to learn how to use the premium guards. This number 1 here cuts closer than this one. So this one's 3mm. This one is about 2.5mm. That's why everybody wants it, because it cuts closer. So that's the difference between them. So this is 1.5 now. And I'm gonna fade it right back into a number 1. So here it is, open now. So what my intention now is to take this weight line out. So I'm moving in. Some people cut in a C motion. I don't cut like that. I'll cut and I'll slightly take it out towards the end. Okay, so it's fully open at the moment. Start closing it in. Now you guys are starting to see the transition now, where everything is starting to fall into its place now. Fully closed now. I like to do a sort of stretched fade. Slightly blurry. That's how I like it. I've got just a little faint line here. This is my half guard. This is such an important guard. Before, we used to, fading in between guards when I first started barbering was really hard. Like fading from a 1 into a 2. So they brought that guard out, and they brought these 2 guards. Now these 2 guards have been a lifesaver, because we used to have to fade from the 1 into a 2. So from a 3mm straight into a 6mm, I found that quite difficult. But being that we didn't have much choice, I had to make do with what I had and learn how to angle my my clippers. So when they brought these 2 guards out, it's such a godsend. So this one goes in between a 1 and a 0, and this goes in between a 1 and a 2. Yeah, this is with my half guard. So you're going to see this line disappear now. See the line starting to disappear now? There it is, that's where it was. And again, most of your barbing work is all visual, all visual. Here's my faint line again here. Again, using this half guard to take out any blemishes. It's about a number 2 to a number 3. So I feel that is a 2.5. So I've got to take this out and flatten it so it blends. So I want to connect this into that now. So I'm going to go with my number 2 now. And I've got my number 2 closed at this moment in time. And look, it's the ideal guard, look at that. So there we go, number 2. And I'm slightly flicking it out, because we're not cutting it straight upwards. The hair's going to slightly stick out. So there we go, look, that's the perfect guard actually. I haven't finished, I'm going to put one more transition guard in there. So it's ideal to comb the hair down, okay? Comb the hair down. So there we go. So from here, you're going to see everything. everything's all going to fall into place now. All right, here we go. This way, everything's all going to fall into place now. Connecting it right back to the 0.5. This is the last guard I'm using now. And I'm keeping the guard flat to the head. Right, so I'm just gonna fade the beard bit, just this little section here. I don't actually want to cut it off. It took him about 10 years to grow. Yeah, I might spray it, you know. Oh man. So it's ideal just to taper the edges here. Right, so let's have a look at the hairline. So, with his hairline, although his hairline looks like it's down here, it's not actually down here. Sorry to do this to you. But when you look closely at his hairline, if you lift it up, his hairline is slightly a bit higher. Look, can you see? So my intention now is to just fade the front down, flatten it down so I can get a straight line. Because if I don't flatten down the hairline and I try to mark it with my liners and I do this, it's going to look as though I've done nothing. Between this side and that side, look, can you see now? See, I've taken off most of the hairs hanging over, flatten it down. So it's going to make it a lot easier for me to shape up. See, now I'm connecting to the corners now. Right, there we go now. So this is going to be a lot easier for me to shape up now. When I'm about to shape up any hairline, you've got to assess the hairline first. It's so important. I need to find out the strongest part of the hairline to the weakest part, okay? So some people start from the corners to the middle. I always like to start from the middle. So from middle to right or from middle to left, okay? That way is better for me, because if you start on this side and you line the hairline, this side might be higher, where this side may be lower. If I start from the middle and I do one correct line in the middle, then that's going to tell me my hairline is going to be straight all the way through. Right, so that's first line. So once I put the first line in, I start to have a look around at the hairline. Is it going to work? Do I need to put it up higher? Is the line straight? They start coming around here and they start dropping the liners. The secret is to keep it straight. Don't drop the corner. So as I'm coming around, so back to the center. As I'm coming around, I keep it upright. See, I'm not dropping the corner whatsoever. So that's the secret. Now I'm happy with that side. I come back to the center. So we come back to the center. I'm just going to run over any little bit that I'm not happy with. Okay, I'm happy there. There we go. Continuation, back to the center. Now if you can remember, this side was slightly higher up, but the way I lined it, it's not that bad actually. It doesn't look as high as it was when I first started. Okay. Comb the hair back down. Make sure you're looking at the client, looking at the hairline. Back to the center. Now this side slightly grows a bit different from the other side. Keep looking. Remember, don't drop the corner. There you go, making our line coming down. Again, as I always keep repeating, a lot of this work is visual.
It's good I can see I've got sweat in my face now.
Yeah, I'm not lying, you do look a bit slim.
Yeah, it's true, brother. I was looking fat before.
Wow. How do you normally line it, or do you want to leave it to me?
What do you want to do with it? What would you do?
Got too much hair underneath here.
Yeah, get rid of all that.
Cut it to the jawline.
Yeah, jawline.
Yeah.
That's calm.
I'm going to make it really stand out today. You see why people get fussy about a haircut? It's crazy, isn't it? Now I come to think of it. Because when you get a good haircut, you got to try and maintain that.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard.
You don't like going back to what...
Yeah. Snap the blades. Snap. There we go. Put the blade in like this. And I like to lift it over. There we go. Close it there. And there we go. Stretch the skin. And you make your first line. Now this is the stronger side, the strongest side of Dominic's hair. And on this side, his hair follicles, they grow so far apart. So this hairline, this lineup might not even stand out like the other side. The other side will stand out a bit more. I like to do this dry. Some people like to do it where I feel when you're just starting, I wouldn't advise anyone to do it dry. Once you're experienced, then you start doing all this stuff dry. So this is an outliner blade. This is a 6-0. The original blade I started off with was a 5-0.
Because each room you escape from ramps up, so I think you get like 30 grand of it.
All right, guys, your biggest organ, you know, your skin, it deserves a little bit of treat. Head over, grab the utility bar, take care of your skin, take care of your beard, take care of your hair, and use it to shave if you need. Beardbrand.com, go and grab a little bit of heaven in a bar.